Hello and welcome to a Hat Chat. That was a very interesting semi-orgasmic intro there.
Can you do us a version of that?
It's really hard to do.
Pretty good.
Did you note down who
Dan
made
Holman!
Dan Horleman.
Are you saying that in a weird way? Or
Well,
is
the
that
Dan
actually
had two A's.
Dan Holman!
Horleman.
Cheers, Dan,
Thanks, Dan.
for that little fangle.
The full thing will be at the end of this Hat Chat.
Oh, there's a full thing.
So we get to hear it again.
Yeah, it's a bit longer.
We're spoiled.
Lovely.
What episode are we on?
We're episode 7.
Wow.
I'm Ross.
I'm Chris Trott.
And I'm Alex Smith, and you've
Lovely.
joined us for episode 7.
That's nice.
Today in the news, we've just come off of the hype of E3. The
Yes.
Conservatives are choosing which sociopath they want to lead next, and Jessica
Politics.
Biel comes out as an anti-vaxxer.
Oh,
Wow.
That's not even in these notes.
No, but that's what's
fresh.
happened today.
That's fresh
just to give you a
news.
frame of reference.
That's,
There
wow.
might be swearing as well. That's
Yep.
got to mention that.
Sexual comments of a sexual nature about Boris Johnson. No, not too much.
Controversial stuff as well.
Sexy guy.
So
Yeah,
if you're not into
controversial.
that-
Oh no, I can't stand controversial opinions. I have to have mainstream opinions only.
Well, you just said
Why
Jessica
not? Why
Biel's an
can't- I mean-
anti-vaxxer.
Well, no, she is.
Yeah.
That's not an opinion.
Controversial.
No, she came out, and it's as if it's like a big thing. She came out as an anti-vaxxer, but yeah, she did. That's
Pretty
that's
dumb.
A fact. So there you go.
pretty dumb.
Pretty dumb.
Anyway.
But yeah, back to gaming stuff.
Yes.
So we do gaming stuff all the time. So why don't we talk about E3, which
Yeah,
we didn't
whoa,
actually
whoa.
go to this year?
So if you don't know what E3 is a huge gaming expo held in LA where all the big people in computer gaming industry come together and tell people about what products they're going to be releasing this year, what sort of state their games that they're making are in.
They blow their marketing budget
They
in
do.
a big jizzy spaff.
By
onto
hiring out the
screens.
first few rows of the audience to cheer
Yeah.
like literal lunatics. You
But
know?
there's
Genuine fans of Microsoft and
Well,
Bethesda and
That's the thing. Like, we've been invited out in the past
Yeah.
by Microsoft
Yeah.
to go to E3
Yeah.
in the hopes
Yeah.
that we get a controller in our hotel rooms, that
Mhm.
kind of thing. So,
Mhm.
that was a surprise. We
we're
didn't
being
go there
greased
expecting
up.
that.
Yeah.
ready for, the oven. Ready
Yeah.
for the oven. And then we go invited
The
to
Microsoft
the
oven.
Microsoft conference.
Yeah.
And obviously, already, you're kind of like on their side.
Well, you guys didn't go to it.
No,
At
we
that
were
time.
both.
We were really drunk.
Way too wasted.
Was that 2017?
Yeah.
Yes.
A couple
Yes.
years ago
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So
It's when they announced Xbox One X, isn't it?
Yep.
But that's just to put a frame of reference as to who's in that audience cheering.
Yeah.
Us.
Is us.
Well,
Or
no,
not
because
us.
they hire a lot of fans at the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do
Whereas
they though?
we were further back.
I'd love to see an expose of like finding out whether these companies are just stacking the front parts of the audience with
It
Stooges.
wouldn't surprise me. They
Like,
need it to go well, right?
Essentially, they do.
Yeah.
Though. In a way, they do.
They must do.
It's like, you get your biggest fans at the front. They're going to make the most noise.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to be like, oh, shit, that sounds like a good game, even though essentially...
You're
it may not be.
breathtaking!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I hit the table. Fuck. Sorry about
But
that.
there's a lot of stuff we're interested in from
Yes.
that. So,
Although I will say, E3, just every single year for the past 15 years or so, you can't get that hyped after that many E3s.
Mhm.
And even going to it, but don't get that hyped about going to it.
E3 as a
There's a-
convention is extremely busy and packed.
Yeah.
And you don't really get much time to
Yeah.
actually play games. You're mainly queuing.
Who's it really for, to be honest?
I don't know.
Like,
In a way,
it's a press junket.
It's like when you go, if you went to a football game or something, like, you're never going to see it as well as you would do at home
Yeah.
on TV because the cameras are going to get everything, right?
and all you're really getting
That's
is the
essentially what
ad
you get at
breaks.
E3.
You're just getting the ad breaks because all they're doing is releasing
Yeah.
trailers of things that haven't come out yet.
Yeah.
Or you can't play.
And if you're at E3, it's a queuing simulator. So,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think the reason they do it, obviously, is money.
hype.
Like,
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. So hype, that momentum that you build for excitement, that equates sales. Like, but yeah, I think now, like all those people that go to, we get this a lot. It's like, oh, can you come here and play our new game? It's like, can you just send it to us and we'll play it here
Yeah,
with
just
a
give us a
with
digital
a,
code.
We'll
with
give you
a
a better
set
experience.
up filming thing. Like, I don't think that really like any of the like press stuff or PR stuff or any of that sort of shit actually really needs to be done there. They could just send it
Yeah.
digitally. However, it is the event that makes everyone hyped and makes you more invested in spending your money on games, doesn't it? Like
I guess so.
Fallout 76, some guys were losing their minds over the battle royale of that. Like,
Yeah, let's get
Yeah.
into it then. Let's get
Mega
into
fans.
the
Well, yeah,
main
okay.
things that got released.
First of all,
Or
is there
announced.
anything you're specifically excited about from it?
yes.
What were you excited about, Alex Smith?
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
3. And its expansion pass.
Yeah. So me and Trott used to
Is
play...
that genuine?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Okay.
Me and Trott
That's
used
real.
to play it years and years ago, and we just picked it up on a whim one time. We're like, oh, let's try this. And it's quite a simple game. Like, it's semi-top-down.
Kind of like Diablo-esque isometric
Exactly.
perspective.
Like an action RPG. But you choose anyone from like the Marvel cast, right? And
like
so
the All-Stars.
yeah, and
Marvel.
it's slightly different to like the films, you know, like in that like
It's
I
more
remember
comic
the
book.
Invisible Woman could like pick people up in force fields and throw them off things.
Okay.
It's
Like,
definitely comic book inspired rather than film inspired.
yeah, but it was great fun, and that's coming out soon, and it looks really fun.
They got all the X-Men in there now.
Yeah.
They announced all the X-Men.
Yeah,
So
Wolverine.
they're literally doing the things that the films can't do right now, which
Right.
is put
Combining
the
them,
Marvel Avengers
Mhm.
with X-Men. So
Mhm.
I'm sure it'll be fun.
Yeah,
It'll be a laugh.
Zelda, new Zelda
Breath of the
game.
Wild 2.
Yeah,
Did you complete the last one?
as no,
Yes, I did.
You
I
don't have a Switch anymore.
I don't know, but
Switchless.
I can appreciate people being excited about it because I know how good the first game was.
But you
Like,
switched off.
I did ultimately. You know why though? Because I played about 20 hours of it, then I had to send my
Oh yeah, it
Switch
broke,
for
didn't
repair,
it? Yeah.
and I didn't realize, but they wipe your save games when they repair it.
Do you want to quick
So
summary?
I just
Fuck, did they really? I
yeah.
forgot about that.
So I
Yeah,
lost
they
like
just
20
wiped the save.
I lost 20 hours of progress,
That
and I'm
sucks.
like, I don't want to do all the
Sucks
beginning again. So I
balls.
just yeah, but I
Well,
enjoyed it.
Just demoralized. Like, oh, I'm selling
Basically-
this is gone.
Link dies in a frantic like Bowsette style like
What?
orgy right at the end.
Right,
And then Link dies, but his twin brother Bink
right.
Bink
is
yeah.
in the sequel.
Oh,
Looks identical.
big.
It's called Bink's Revenge, the new one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Bink's Revenge.
That's a different trailer to what I saw.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm looking forward to Breath of the Wild 2. It's got like a darker tone to it. It's very much a tease.
Yeah, from
right
the
now.
trailer, it looked pretty
Yeah.
cool,
Super
right?
teasy. We don't know much, but I really enjoyed Breath of the Wild.
Final Fantasy VII Remake looks awesome.
There we
Like-
go.
Yes,
That's the
yeah.
Ross Hornby.
I am very excited about that. Although
Yeah.
saying that, I mean, I feel like it's going to lose all the charm and stuff that you kind of got from the original. But obviously, that's the whole point,
It's a
right?
product
It's
of
something
its
new.
time,
It's
yeah.
something fresh. It's hopefully not too similar to Final Fantasy 15 because that got a bit samey and a bit hack and slashy.
I'm quite excited to
but
see.
I like the world. I love the world of the
Exactly.
characters.
I'm excited to see that world that like I know, and it was the first Final Fantasy I
Yeah.
ever played, like reimagined and like shown in
In a
like
detail,
in
yeah.
glorious detail rather than sort of like
Definitely.
8 sprites.
Yes,
There's
definitely.
something about the sprite thing, though, like Ross is saying,
Yeah.
where your imagination fills in the rest.
Yeah,
and
that's
now
true.
there is no that's an art direction now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think some of that charm will be lost. However, like you say, they're exploring more avenues of Midgar and the story, which weren't in the original game. They're like expanding on the lore a bit.
'Cause
So there's
it's
going to be
not-
new
It's not
stuff.
just one game, is it? It's
Yeah,
3.
well, the first part of
potentially.
the game
Yeah.
comes as 2 Blu-ray discs, which shows the scope of it,
Yeah.
really. Well, I thought it was just going to be like, oh, you meet Aerith or Ares.
Yeah.
Wait, so the game itself is going to be released in 2 parts?
It's going to be released
3.
in potentially 3 parts, right?
Holy shit.
And the first part is 2 Blu-rays. And
Why?
and that's the size of a
Well,
Final Fantasy.
in an interview, they've said that each part is going to be as big as a normal Final Fantasy
Yeah.
game, which is already massive, really. So that kind of hints to them exploring different avenues, more detail, maybe
Yeah.
different plot lines. But
Yeah, rather than Final
I'm
Fantasy being a
interested.
single sole game release, it's now going to be like a trilogy saga, I guess is what they're doing.
I think it makes sense because that one's probably the one that everyone calls back to, right?
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7 is one of the big ones. It's the
Why not
first one on
milk it?
PS1, wasn't it? After like SNES.
it was one of the first PS1 games, yeah. With
It's
3D
probably one of the
graphics.
first ones that really made a splash in the West as well, right?
Yeah.
Like Final Fantasy VII for me.
technically say Final Fantasy 6 was that one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
Oh right, yeah, I suppose, yeah. Good point.
Final
I think-
Fantasy 8's also being remastered.
okay.
Yes.
And I mean, I haven't read anything about this, but you said that they remade it from scratch,
Well,
which is
I've
shocking.
looked into it a bit
It's
more.
a
Okay.
remaster.
Basically, the reason they've done a remaster of all the other Final Fantasies apart from this one is because it was really difficult to get the source files to be ported.
Right.
And I don't know why. Did they use a completely different engine for that game versus 9 and 7? Either side of it?
No, maybe.
Either way, they've fixed that now, and now they've got it coming out.
Okay.
It looks very similar,
Yeah.
with slightly higher def polygons.
Was 8 the
Yeah.
one with the person with the scar down their face?
Squall.
Squall.
Yeah.
Squall. The names. so
I quite like
bizarre.
that one.
Balam Garden. They're all like in a dorm together, and then there's some weird ass like
And the Gunblade? Was
The
that
gun-
8 as
yeah.
well?
You got to press R2 at the right time.
But then does Cloud Strife also have a gun blade?
He's got a big blade, not a gun
It's like
blade.
a magic blade,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Yeah,
not
the
a
gun
gun blade.
blade's very much Final Fantasy 8.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
But,
it's cool. I really like it. Seed. That's what they're called. Seed.
I think the other thing about Final Fantasy VII, the new one, is going to be the voice acting
Yeah.
and how kind of questionable that is, because
Mm.
the voice acting in Final Fantasy 15 is tragic and awful, and it's so
It's
over
hammy.
the top. But I think I can look past it.
All
But
the
we'll
Final
see.
Fantasy since 10 have had hammy dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So-
Final Fantasy 15 I could not get on with. I just found it so ridiculous.
I enjoyed
Like,
it.
is
I finished it, which is a good start, right? But
Yeah, finishing it, you realise that, holy shit, they rushed it.
and also you didn't need to use half the like magic shit that they kind of give you. It's
That's
bit
what's
one
good
dimensional.
about-
Can you imagine the summons animations that are in 15 though,
Yeah.
which are amazing?
yeah.
Being in 7 for like all of the crazy summons in that,
Definitely.
Yeah.
like that's
Well,
gonna be
they've,
great.
Yeah.
They've talked about and shown off how the combat works.
Right.
So it's a hybrid system. So you do the hack and slashing stuff like you do in 15,
Mhm.
probably a bit more refined
And then it
now.
slows
Yeah,
down.
so there's the
Yeah.
ATB gorge, which is in 7, which fills up, and then
Yeah.
once it's full, you can press a button and it slows down time, like you say, and there's
Yeah.
more of a tactical
Yeah.
where you get to
Yeah.
pick your materials and stuff and then fire off a spell at that target, etc., which is more like turn-based.
Because I don't know about you, I spent a lot of time just running around in like a field farming.
Yeah.
Where I
That's
was
Final
just
Fantasy.
tap
Grinding.
Yeah.
Doing the grind.
Grinding, but I feel like that's going to be different with this kind of battle
Yeah.
style. But
It's going to be a lot more
it's going to be a very
story-focused
different
than-
game. So I'm
Looking forward to
prepared
that
for it.
one.
Yeah.
What else have we got? We got Rainbow Six Quarantine.
Yes, well, we're obviously big Rainbow Six fans. Obviously, this is kind of similar to what was that that game mode in Siege? That was like brief. The Outbreak, was it?
Oh,
yeah.
Outbreak mode. So it's kind of a similar thing to that.
Should we
you
look
have
at the teaser?
a co-op of 3 people. Yeah,
What do you
let's
reckon?
pull up a teaser. I don't know if it tells you too much. It's kind of very much
Cinematic.
very breathy, and he's looking at his arms and he's got a gun. But basically, it's teams of 3, right? Which
Yeah.
is perfect for us, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll definitely give it a go once it's out next
Although
year.
every game that's come out saying like it's a big AAA game with 3 players turns out to be trash for us, like Destiny.
Yes, honestly, it's
And
kind
Apex.
of disappointing,
And
like, especially when it
Apex.
comes to also like online Red Dead as well.
Oh
I don't
my
know if,
God,
I mean, they have
literally-
improved things, but I don't think I'd go back to it.
No.
It's just
Well, yeah, this is a cinematics trailer. Basically,
God.
there's an outbreak,
Yeah.
and you're cooperative trying to save people or something.
Trying to shoot a monster by the looks of things.
and again, this trailer's it's pre-render,
Yeah.
which I found most of E3 were pre-renders,
Yeah,
right?
they were,
You
yeah.
didn't get as many gameplay
No, you did not.
videos and stuff, which is kind of disappointing.
I'm guessing
but-
this is you, like the guys that saved this person from the outbreak.
Yeah.
Who knows? But the original Rainbow Six cinematic trailer was completely different. Or
Yeah.
they did a gameplay trailer.
Mm.
Watch that now, knowing what Siege is like, and it's all completely wrong. So take all this with a grain of salt, really.
I think this is going to have some of the same characters from
Is it?
Siege. Yeah.
Oh, that'd
Nice.
be cool.
So those 2 worlds are intertwined,
Oh,
I think like
which is good because we know those.
yeah.
don't get me wrong, I do love a CGI trailer now and then, and we were
Yeah.
saying about how cool the one for
Baldur's Gate.
for Baldur's Gate.
Oh
was.
god,
yeah.
I thought that was real life until it like.
It's
zoomed
so
in. I was
impressive.
I was like, oh, it's just a live action.
Can we see
It's
that
like-
one, Craig?
I-
You're gonna have to Google that one. Baldur's Gate 3 cinematic.
And from a like
BALDUR.
a storytelling perspective,
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
Sure.
And obviously The Witcher, because it's by CD Projekt Red, Baldur's Gate now, and The
They've been
Witcher
busy.
had some amazing cinematics, some incredible ones.
Witcher
Like
2.
yeah, the one with the boat that like
Yeah,
got
that's Witcher
frozen
2,
over, like
yeah.
that was nuts. However, for a lot of games companies, they'll make these incredible CGI trailers, and then the games will be nothing like them.
Yeah,
And
doesn't
I feel
live
like
up
you
to it.
shouldn't try and sell a game on a
I think
CGI
it's
trailer.
forgivable for something like Baldur's Gate. So watch
'Cause
this
it's D&D,
now.
right?
Mhm.
This is D&D. So look at this. This is so good.
Looks
it's also
like
a bit
It's like
gross.
King's Landing.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Like this guy in general, like his movements and animations and stuff are so good.
Obviously, if you're listening to this, it's just the Baldur's Gate trailer.
Mhm.
Feel
It's a
free to
guy in
Google
a-
it, but
Sword and
thematically, it's very similar to like
Heavy
King's
armor.
Landing stuff. And I actually, when it first came up, before he started turning into, is he turning into a?
it's a
werewolf?
mind flayer.
A what?
Mind flayer.
Mind Flayer. Okay. So it's
So
quite a
what they do
very
is
graphic.
It's very alien
transformation
style.
scene.
They have a little alien that implants into their brain.
Yeah.
They go through their eye or something, and then they literally turn their body into a mind flare, and then that's how they spread. So it's meant to be a terrifying concept.
But
But it
looks
is terrifying.
It certainly looks terrifying.
Look at this transformation; it's
But
insane.
I've never played Baldur's Gate, and I have heard of it. Like, have you played the old ones?
Baldur's Gate 2, yes.
And
briefly.
so, what's the layout?
Basically,
How do you-
imagine. Well, have you played Pillars of Eternity, anything like
I've
that?
seen like.
So it's
stuff
like
in it.
top down again, like Diablo
okay,
looking,
yeah.
but it's more like dialogue boxes, more like Final Fantasy, where you go up to
Yeah.
people, talk to them.
It's Diablo meets D&D.
But it's
Like-
a multi-branching storyline. You can go down whatever path you want, be
Right.
whatever character you want. It's not like a linear path.
So would this
And-
be something that we would be able to play together, or is
I
it kind of
don't
like
know if
a?
it's- Oh yeah, it is cooperative.
It
'cause
is
It's
co-op.
like it's based on Divinity Original Sin 2. Those are the
Ah,
devs
okay.
that do
Larian, was
it.
it?
Larian Studios.
Yeah, yeah.
They've teamed up with D&D. They finally got a license for it. It looks like it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
And-
I love all those games. Like, I really like
Oh, yeah.
Divinity. It's really
They're-
good.
It's in the right hands, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, with cinematic trailers, going back to that, I feel it's forgivable for a game that doesn't focus on
Yeah.
being there and in the visuals. Like if you're
Right.
an isometric view from the top down,
Yeah.
Yeah.
having a cinematic thing like that helps enhance the story
Mm-hmm.
for some like an RPG like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just good.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it works for RPGs basically,
Yeah. I think we're
not FPSs.
that's true. Like some games I will search out a gameplay trailer. And
Yeah.
other games
Yeah.
would be like, I'm sure it'd be fine. Like if they brought out another Stellaris or like those 4X style space strategy games, usually I'm like, I know it'll be like fine. The visuals will be fine. Like I
Yeah.
don't really don't care, but like it's more about the gameplay. And yeah, it's a fair point.
The cinematics are like a supplementary addition, kind of like if you have a board game. It's like, oh, there's this nice map to go with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You don't need the map, but it's nice to add to like the
Mhm.
immersion of it. Or
Yeah.
something.
Give you more
I mean,
layers.
essentially, E3 they're just selling the idea.
Yeah,
to
selling
begin
the
with.
idea,
and then you'll
yeah.
half the time have to wait several years. But a lot of these are coming out next year, which is quite interesting considering.
The speed at which
2020.
things are coming out, I think, is adversely affecting the quality of products.
Definitely, yeah.
The push of the publisher.
Well, it's just more money, isn't it? It's like if they can sell, if instead of focusing on making a good game that discerning people will be like, maybe I will buy a game today. Which one shall I pick? Like,
Yeah.
I remember going into like game stores like back in the day when I was a teenager,
Yeah.
and there'd be like 8 titles out at that time, and everyone and those were pretty much it.
Yeah.
You choose from those 8 big titles which one you want to spend your money on. But now
Yeah.
it's like $39.99 for this game, and there's some loot boxes involved, and then
Yeah.
$39.99 for the next version the next year, and it's kind of like frustrating because like we got the new Xbox announced, the new Scarlet console,
Yeah.
and whilst I am all for 4K 60 frames per second, 4K 120 frames per second, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like it's extremely soon after the Xbox One X came out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like it used to be consoles
almost
would be
like
around
that's-
for like 5 years. Like
Yeah.
you'd buy a
Yeah,
console.
right.
And then developers would build games that would look better and better and better over time because they're optimizing it. And then 5 years down the line, you'd be like, right, time to buy a new console. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
Now, whilst this new one, Scarlet, is it called?
Well, that's
Project,
what
it's
the
Project
Scarlet.
Scarlet.
Project
Last one
Scarlet.
was Scorpion, wasn't it?
Yeah, Project Scorpion.
Yeah.
Like, whilst I'm excited for it and will probably get one, because we're kind of in the privileged position of being able to get these things.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's frustrating for regular consumers who maybe can
Definitely,
only
yeah.
afford, like I could when I was a kid, only afford a console once every 5 years. You know,
It
like
depends if it's backwards compatible. If it's backwards compatible, fair enough. It gives you the option, right?
Well, the way they're doing that is Xbox Games Pass. So,
So you can like
at the
play
moment, you
on
can get
stream.
Xbox games on Xbox Games
Right,
Pass. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
downloaded Fable 2 for my
Yeah.
Xbox One X the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Great
love that
game.
game. It's amazing.
Love
But yeah, like that's how they're doing it.
How about removing the console entirely?
Yeah.
With OnLive 2. Google Stadia.
Yeah.
Got that one.
Almost
right.
got the wrong one there.
Yeah, almost got the
Silly.
wrong
Like
one.
on Live, but with even more money and servers.
Hoping that
Yeah.
the infrastructure in the nation is fine now.
Yeah. Which it is for us. Again, we've all got gigabit internet. We've got the fastest internet in the country
But
in our homes.
Yeah, if I moved back in with my parents, that internet is
Doesn't
shit.
work.
It's dog shit.
So
Yeah.
I watched So this is talking about Google Stadia now. So basically what they're doing is streaming the game to you.
Yeah.
You get a controller which connects directly to your router,
Mhm.
which means the input latency is minimized because you're not connecting to a mini console which then goes to a router.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it connected
Little-
to the stick.
Connects to your Wi-Fi apparently.
Isn't
what they've
there's
said.
a Chromecast.
Chromecast,
So
yeah.
the controller connects to the Chromecast,
Oh, right,
doesn't
okay.
it? I would imagine it does.
They said
Either
it was better because it used the Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
right?
so with Google Stadia, they've done a ton of research into latency, ping, all that kind of stuff, and they're using different architecture that, say, Netflix or things like that. Buffering is basically something that cannot happen.
Mm-hmm.
They have to do a one-to-one thing, and basically look up the GDC talk about Project Google Stadia. It's just filled me with a bit more confidence as to what they're doing, like fail safes and things like that, with like overflow of like sending stuff to a server, and then it gets to a point where it's just crazy, the technology that's going into this thing. But it shows that with a 30 megabit per second download stream and upload, you can get
we're saying 35. 4K. Yeah, 35 would be 4K
35.
HDR, 60 FPS.
Yeah, which is nuts.
Which is that's
There you go.
that's
There's-
great.
there's
35
the
meg
graphic.
is becoming more and more common, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're basing a lot of their reports on American internet speeds, because obviously they vary all over the place. In a city it's going to be great,
And dropouts and things
rural
like that.
and stuff's going to be dog shit. It's going to be like 5 meg, maybe less.
Some cities have Google Fiber, some cities don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it is
So they have factored all that
very
in,
fresh
and they've
right
done
now.
a lot. They've got this API which allows you to do like real time, like a dropout, or like your internet drops for some reason.
I mean, this is the future. Like
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
we said this when On Live was about as well. On Live, by the way, was a previous game streaming service working on a similar concept, though
when
with
was that?
different
like 5
technology.
or 6 years ago?
Yeah, must have been 5 years ago.
too early, really.
Yeah,
but
too
like,
early.
I mean,
It was.
you got to start somewhere, right?
They
Yeah,
had a lot of big AAA titles on there, and they had all the technology and the consoles and stuff sent out. It just didn't work on our internet back then.
Well, it was like when Microsoft
Yeah.
tried to launch the first tablet computer,
Yeah,
and it just flopped. And then Apple did the same thing like years later.
Yeah.
right
and-
time, right place.
Exactly. But I think that why would you get people? Why would people want to buy thousands of pounds worth of PCs and hardware when you could buy a good TV and this, and then have a subscription, and you could play the same sort of games?
I think it's that ownership thing that's the only contention
I think
point.
people are way past that now.
I think
so?
I think because you don't buy DVDs or Blu-rays anymore, do you?
No.
Not
No,
really.
I guess
Only
not.
for like
You watch Netflix, you listen to Spotify, you know, like
the stuff you will buy is the kind of stuff you really fucking love.
Yeah.
Right. I bought Dunkirk on 4K Blu-ray because I thought that's a really good film. I want it a hard copy. I want it on
But
my
what
shelf.
if they're removing the thing with which you play it? For
Right.
example, if we're going in that direction, it's like, oh yeah, I want a hard copy of Dunkirk, or I want a hard copy of this game.
But
It's only available on Google Stadia. There isn't a hard copy.
exactly.
But that's the way it's going to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
I guess so.
It gives
They're
more people
always-
access to opportunities to buy, and that's
But
essentially what these
I
companies
do
want.
feel like they
Yeah.
will always keep that option open for like the ultimate editions and stuff where you get models
A toy.
and stuff. and
Yeah.
The hardcore fans, they'll keep that going, and also obviously it's a merchandise cash cow.
And birthdays and Christmases, what are you going to do then? You know?
Exactly. Oh, here's a little.
running out of
well,
ideas.
It's just gonna be a little code on your in the card. And
I
stuff.
already do that.
There it is.
I've been doing
Yeah.
that for the last couple of years. I've
Yeah.
got a godson, and he plays computer games, and so like I just send
You're not sending him
codes.
V-Bucks, are you?
I'm not sending him
V-Bucks.
V-Bucks. No, I'll never stoop that low.
Here's some V-Bucks.
I'll be dead.
Have a
before I
great
do
one.
that.
Good.
Um,
V-Bucks.
But yeah, like I think, well, going back to Xbox Scarlet. Now, one of the things they said, which is everyone harumphed and hurrahed about the fucking SSD.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
So I noticed this the other day. I was playing on my console for a bit, like my Xbox One X, and like playing a few games, and I was like my PC, the PCs we built, those little PCs at home,
Little
those have
ITX.
M2 drives in. They have SSDs in. Those things are fast. I barely have to wait for loading on anything. And I was on my Xbox One X playing some games. I'm like, this loading time is probably 30 seconds. Like that for me is a long time.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we're bringing an SSD. It's like, oh, fucking finally, guys. Like people have been modding consoles with SSDs for years. Didn't you put a different drive in your PlayStation 3? Was it?
I just made it bigger. It was
Right.
still HDD, but it was just 2 terabytes instead of the like 500 gig, I think.
And then you've got Apple charging like 600 quid extra for an extra terabyte. And I
But
mean,
they're using new technology, right?
Well, that's what
For the
Microsoft is
SSD.
saying, right? They're saying it's even
So
faster.
it's a
than
brand new
before,
thing.
But,
it'll be right. It'll probably be
and
like
SSD is gonna be fast anyway, right?
yeah. This is the thing. It's going to be like it'll probably be 3D NAND. Like it might be NVMe like M2 style like stuff. So even if it's M2, right? So we can buy 2 terabytes of M2 an M2 hard drive for like 200 quid, right? Like it won't. I just can't see it being an M2 because
Well, they have to.
The
That's
cost
like-
of it
that
versus the
will
console
make
cost.
that will make the console cost. Okay, even if they get it at cost, so let's say they get like a terabyte of M2 storage for £100. Like I would be very surprised if it's anything other than your regular 2.5 inch SSDs. You know, like the normal SSD.
Did they say how big they were going to be?
No, I don't think so.
It's going to be like a 256.
I'm sure there'll be tiers. I don't think it'll be
You have
tiers.
to wear on
That'll
your
be like
back
two
like
games.
like a turtle shell.
If Apple are going to put a 256 in a $6,000
Oh.
machine, I don't put it past Microsoft doing the similar
Yeah,
thing.
because if they're offering like a streaming service as well,
Yeah.
maybe they would do that.
But then, 500 gig. Like, I fill up my terabyte on my console all the time. Games just are massive now.
Yeah.
They're like close to 100 gig on some of them
Yeah.
because of the TLCs,
Mhm.
updates and stuff. You need massive hard drives.
Do you think Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be 100 gig?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes. From the looks
Seamless
of it.
transition there.
I don't think there's any reason it wouldn't be.
How
It looks really impressive.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk,
but a lot
yeah.
of people have bought into it. Sorry, Terps is just unzipping.
How does he
himself.
manage to do
He's
this
just
every
got it out
hat
every
chat?
time?
I think he knows we're
every time.
doing it and comes and irritates
Oh,
it.
I see.
But with 2077, I've completely muddled my words there.
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk 2077.
So they dropped the Keanu on us. The Keanu Reeves is in the game, and he
Yeah.
came out on stage to talk about Cyberpunk, not really knowing what he's talking about, but he
guess
did.
not,
He
yeah,
did
I
a
mean,
good job.
He's in it. But
He was like, when they came to me about open world RPGs with a multi-stranded storyline, I thought that's cool.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, you don't know what that is, though, do you,
I
Keanu?
th-
But
I
you're
th-
cool. I like you.
I thought, fuck Norman Reedus, I'm gonna be in a game too.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, what is he? He's also in Toy Story 4, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who? Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, he's one of the characters.
And he is like a buzzword right now. Obviously, he's on all
Yeah.
over the internet.
Yeah.
But literally talking about something that's we can't really talk about. We're doing freelance work,
Yeah.
and there is a dialogue going on about
Should
can
we-
you bring in more of Keanu Reeves?
Can we have more
because
Keanu?
He's
at
a
the
real
front and center? It's
buzzword
like,
right now.
I don't know how much he features in
So
that
everyone's
film.
talking about him.
And
Definitely.
like we get it. Like, well, I get it anyway. Keanu Reeves is
Yeah.
a very interesting and inspirational person. However, he is getting shopped around now, isn't he? Holy crap! Roll him out, boys!
Yeah.
It's Keanu Reeves.
They're doing another Bill and Ted,
Yeah.
which I don't think is necessary,
Yeah.
but for the nostalgia, I guess people are loving it. But he is a meme now, right?
Absolutely,
It's
yeah.
fully memed.
He's gone from sad
living
Keanu
meme.
to
to just
Everywhere, Keanu.
yeah.
extremely popular Keanu.
Yeah.
I mean, fair play to him.
Yeah.
He's doing well. He's doing a really good job.
Yeah.
And people are milking the shit out of him, and I hope he doesn't diminish his stature by doing so.
Yeah.
It certainly kept it quiet though. That was
Yeah.
an interesting reveal.
It was a
'cause
good reveal,
Nobody
yeah.
saw it coming, really,
Yeah.
right?
Well, he's a very private guy, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
maybe that helps.
as well as Cyberpunk, one of the big surprises for me, and I've read a couple of articles on it now, is the new Watch Dogs game.
Oh,
So,
really?
Watch Dogs.
Ubisoft.
Man, it's
I
got glaze
know.
over when I
Rainbow
hear the name.
Six.
Oops, sorry.
Go on.
So, yeah, Watch Dogs, absolutely.
Right, yeah.
Did not give a flying fuck about Watch Dogs. First game, I loved the idea of it, loved the trailer, tried it, meh.
Apparently, the second one's
game,
a lot better.
Yeah, but I just not interested in that at all. Third game, read an article about it. So in the third game, all of the NPCs in the world can be hired to be your lackeys, and then you can play as those NPCs. Okay, so they showed some gameplay footage at E3 of a person who'd hired an old woman,
Right.
right? And she was wandering around with a taser.
Oh, I think I saw this.
And
yeah.
she like creeps up
right,
behind the guard,
yes, yeah,
tases him, and like jumps over. And apparently, it's really, really good. Like a lot of people were like, I think it was a PC Gamer article I was reading, and they're
It was a surprising.
they're pretty good. They're pretty on the money with the things they say, in my opinion. And they were saying this was a real surprise. This actually genuinely looks quite interesting. All the NPCs can be controllable, and it really changes the dynamic of the world. And
Okay.
I think it sounds great fun. I think it's a lot of potential for mischief, basically.
Yeah.
So you could just do like a whole squad of grannies, and
like a sandbox of
yeah,
silliness.
it's a real sandbox.
Just
Yeah,
Cause
definitely.
esque.
Is that where the Granny Sim meme was coming from?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Was
that
they
is
were-
that is the
they were
same
calling
thing.
it this,
And
right,
also,
Here she
it's
is.
set in London, which looks pretty damn cool. Post-Brexit London, which could
Is
be
that what
really,
they've mentioned that?
well, like futuristic post-Brexit.
Yeah.
She's got the earpiece in. Amazing. So you've hired this granny, and now she even walks around like a granny.
Yeah.
That's great.
But it looks
I'm still
really
skeptical.
Oh, is this in London?
I'm
yeah,
still
it's in
skeptical.
London.
I really wasn't
That's cool.
entertained by the first one at all. But
No, I wasn't. It just seems like one of those like shallow
Mhm.
experiences where I'm not invested in this world or what's going on at all.
Yeah.
It's just another big open world RPG, which is a shame because the man hours on these games
Of course,
must be insane.
But everything's not going to
create
please
such
everyone,
like
though,
a-
right? You know.
You know.
See, I think like
That's pretty cool.
I think it could be like a
It's a
Deus
little
Ex
spider.
kind of alternative.
Yeah.
So you can choose different classes. So this is one that has a little spider that can
Spider
attack
drone.
people and hack things. And then there are other like classes, but you can set each of these NPCs up as one of 3 different
Wow.
classes. So you could have a granny who's like an assault specialist. So
Yeah.
she has like a grenade
Look at her.
launcher.
That is pretty
Clambering
funny,
over
to be
stuff.
fair, like,
Yeah.
that's pretty nuts.
And
The fact they have their own animations and things.
exactly.
Yeah.
Apparently there's animations and voice lines for like loads of different characters.
Damn.
So you can
Okay.
like all
Is
these
it
people
still
you bump
single player?
into.
Mostly?
Well, no, because it wasn't.
Was it?
It
mostly?
wasn't always single player. So you
Oh,
can.
right,
It's
okay.
one of those games that you can choose
Drop
to be
in.
online.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And people can drop in. I think. But yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, worth checking
Um,
out.
I didn't expect that. To
Yeah,
be
I-
talked about.
I think it could be a really good laugh.
Okay,
Like which was a nice little surprise. Fallout 76 Battle Royale. Imagine
of
a
course.
Battle Royale
Woo!
game.
Sorry, just woo! Yeah.
What we
Fallout
wanted!
76. Holy
Yes!
shit. We all love Fallout
we wanted
76.
it. We wanted it. And I know that Bethesda said before the event that there wasn't going to be any footage from Starfield or the new Elder Scrolls RPG, which everyone's very excited about, obviously.
Yeah.
Bit of a shame because I think it also reaffirms just how little development they've done on Elder Scrolls since Skyrim came out in 2011.
Oh my god.
2009 years
I
or
remember when
8
Skyrim
years.
came out, and I still felt that looked dated.
Yeah.
Like the engine was
Yeah.
like, okay, they've consolified it because Oblivion was obviously this revolutionary engine with Radiant AI. Skyrim didn't feel like much of an iteration on that
Yeah.
at the time in 2011,
Yeah.
and now to be still.
And I'm sure they will smash the next Elder Scrolls out of the park. It's not that I don't have faith in Bethesda. What's frustrating is that it seems from the outside, at least, they've clearly spent their time and energy elsewhere, like doing things that not elsewhere, elsewhere.
That's in Elder Scrolls Online
Yeah,
now.
well, yes, and that as a person who loves Bethesda and loves a lot of the games that they did make, I feel like they've made a few missteps in the last sort
But
of 5 years.
maybe they're just releasing that stuff just to fill the shareholders'
Absolutely.
quotas before
Yeah.
the big thing, which it's taken 10 years to make GTA 5.
Yeah.
So it does take a long time to make
Yeah.
big,
They're certainly
amazing
not doing
games.
a Rockstar, which is big games now and again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They've gone for the whole, like, they're doing apps. Like, they've done like the,
yeah.
And it's almost a different
shelter.
strategy, isn't it? Rockstar counts on its big cash cows once every sort of 5 to 10
which
years.
is what Bethesda used to be.
But they're
Exactly.
huge. They're huge cash cows.
Oh, they're
they're
absolute-
nothing to.
yeah. GTA 5 was
Billions.
the biggest, best-selling consumer product of all time.
To be fair,
Like-
they could afford to do that because it had shark cards. None of the Elder Scrolls games had. They had DLC.
Right.
But the sales alone were still amazing.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you're absolutely right. The
Clearly
shark
not
cards.
enough because
Did
they
they
made
have
a
that in
change.
GTA 4? I don't know if they did.
They had an online, no.
Right.
So GTA 5, this is probably when they stopped.
Yeah.
Because apparently there's been a big void since GTA 5. Like the annual, well, not annual releases, their pattern of release.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The gap since GTA 5 has been huge.
Obviously, Red Dead has been in between. I don't know if they work on.
Yeah.
They must be working on multiple projects.
yeah,
Obviously, right?
yeah. Because you got Rockstar North and
They're probably upset. Well, the thing about GTA 5 was we all played the single player, and that was brilliant in
Yep.
GTA 5. And then the online experience was really fun and really,
Mhm.
really cool. Problem with Red Dead is the single player was fantastic, loved it. But the online was really nothing.
Just
And we
share.
said it before it came out. Like,
Yeah.
what could they do online with this format in this kind of
what can you create?
framework?
Yeah.
You're
lot.
stuck in a specific era. There's only so much you can do. How
Horse racing's not
adaptable
fun
is that
No.
as a game.
No.
yeah.
You can't have cars, you can't customize your cars, you can't do all those things. You can't release like decals or new cars.
Yeah.
It all really revolves around the cars.
Yeah.
To be or
Yeah,
like
well,
jets and weapons
That's
and
the thing.
vehicles.
With GTA, there's so many things you can do with the fact that it's just set today.
Modern.
So you can do whatever you want. Really.
technology.
You
Yeah.
could go balls to the walls, crazy
Yeah.
shit like the jet cars and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And
Red
still,
Dead was
still
horse
fun and playable.
or wagon and horse.
And I appreciate that they tried to keep it themic and not go
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
with it, but at the same time, just don't make multiplayer.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah,
Still not out on
Bethesda,
PC.
Fallout 76, they've released a Battle Royale because I guess why the fuck not? I'm not blaming them for it, but I felt like Fallout 76's janky MMO-like
imagine playing that,
experience
though? Yeah,
doesn't
try and-
fit Battle Royale at all.
There's
Try and
an
do anything
article-
quick in that game.
There's an article by PC Gamer, which you hold quite highly,
That said they
saying
actually really like it.
they
yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it
enough.
retains the DNA of Fallout, which I don't know if that's good or not.
Reserve judgment until we try
I've
it then,
never liked Fallout, so like I think that
Doesn't-
kind of influences me a little bit.
I really enjoyed 3, and I enjoyed
New Vegas.
New Vegas.
But we played 76 and it was clunky.
Yeah,
Right? I mean, and I can't imagine trying to do anything at speed.
yeah.
With
And it
it.
looks
Proper-
like shit.
Yeah,
I
and it
I
looks
don't think Fallout is a
old.
good looking game.
Yeah.
Like
No, it's not.
I don't think it's a good looking game
It's
at all. I think
not.
it looks
Dated.
real garbage actually.
This engine, I know engines aren't things where you just create a new one,
Yeah.
and they are an evolving process,
Yeah.
but it does feel like it's not evolving enough.
Maybe they decided to like maintain the aesthetic or something, but it just like look at the textures. The textures are so undetailed. We're looking at a trailer at the moment.
I know it's a drab world, but you can do so much with a drab world to make it look better.
Yeah.
Are
Like
they changing the engine for the new one?
Yes.
For Elder
Skyrim?
Scrolls.
Well,
Elder
not changing,
sorry.
again, because it's an evolution.
They've
Engines
adapted on it.
just get better over time. They add new things.
I fucking hope so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, from what we've seen teased
Yeah.
about like the facial capture, and because they got that granny that's the YouTuber that plays Skyrim all the time
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
game, and they did like a whole facial capture of her, and the detail on that was insane. So yeah, it's looking like more of a
This
modern
is
game.
jumping into quite a saturated market though now.
Yeah.
Battle Royales, there's so
a bit
so
late.
many of them.
I
Bit
think
late, yeah.
And it seems like Fortnite's come back up, you know, because it kind
Yeah.
of went down. It took a hit from Apex, and then
Apex,
Apex
has
has
died
kind
a
of
death.
died down, which I'm not sure why. It was a great game, but
Yeah.
Fortnite's rising again. So
Fortnite.
I can't believe-
Fortnite,
yeah,
tough on
it's
the break.
still-
But they've obviously done the right thing. They've got a load of kids involved, and they
do
got
exceptionally
DLC
well
all over the
at
place.
hyping all their new stuff that
Yeah,
comes out
yeah.
all the time, like so quickly.
Hmm.
But also it comes at the cost of the Epic employees doing like ridiculous
Yeah.
hours, which came out recently.
Well, there's
Oh, really?
so the new series of Black Mirror's out, and one of the bits in that I found quite interesting. This isn't too spoilery. Basically, there's a character in it who owns a social media company in one of them. Okay,
Right, yeah.
and in it, he talks about when he started his company, he genuinely did want to like connect people. You know what
Which
Facebook was
episode is
banking
that?
about?
Was that-
Second one, I think.
Oh,
No,
okay.
first one. The one where the guy's in the car.
Oh, that's the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, second one. So anyway, he's talking about like, I'm really sorry. Like when I started out,
Oh,
I just
yeah.
wanted to make a good connecting platform, like all this sort of stuff. But then these experts and marketing people came in and essentially just looked at it like an equation and said like, how can we make people more addicted to this? And I think that's true of like so many things now, like with like different products and things coming out, and like with Fortnite, for example. If you can create these constant content updates and constant new things to be hyped or new things to spend money on, like I'm the same, Dota 2, you know, like I spend huge amounts of money on that. Well, I have historically spent huge amounts of money on that game. For what, really?
Yeah.
Because I'm excited about new cosmetics,
Yeah.
and my friends are excited about new
But
cosmetics.
it's not a new concept, like, you know. Look
No,
at,
but we're
look at
very
all the
good at it
adverts we've
now.
seen. Look at all the adverts we saw in America, like everywhere. Like
Mhm.
they're trying to get you hooked to their product. You know, Coca-Cola, all these other, Pepsi, all these different brands
think
that
But
throw
there's
in
a
your
difference
faces.
between...
The whole point is they want you to keep coming back to that product. And if they can make it addictive, they fucking will. They'll
Yeah.
add caffeine. They'll do whatever they can.
Yeah.
In this case, it's the dopamine fix from
yeah.
opening a box or
Yeah.
whatever. So you can see why that
Do you
is
think there's
catching
going to
on.
be a regulation in the same way as the amount of dopamine you can release on a person, as like how much
Don't know.
caffeine you
I'm
can
not
give
sure
someone?
it's possible to do it.
don't know,
I mean,
yeah.
you can regulate caffeine, obviously, but like things like that, it's a very hard
they're
to sort of intangible
Yeah.
thing, isn't it?
They're cracking down on loot boxes, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they're starting to
That's gambling.
gambling
though,
laws are
which
starting
makes
to come into
sense.
place in certain countries where it's like, look,
They
this
have
is
to
considered
reveal the
gambling.
chances
Yeah.
and what you're going to get,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird.
But even then, you don't need to have random chance loot boxes. The problem is with those is they're deemed gambling because there's a random chance as to what you'll get.
Of course, yeah.
But if you just said like the new Fortnite season is here and it's only £5, you
Yeah.
get all of the like new content. You get this new section of the map. That's not gambling. That's just salesmanship,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
that works off of the established hype of Fortnite.
Mhm.
And like you were saying, they've done a very, very fucking good job of just making this just an addictive mass of just.
And if you
hype.
look at what they're releasing, yeah, they release new weapons and guns and stuff, but other things are like collector boxes. So
Mhm.
what they do is, if you broke it down into just this new thing that got released and people being so excited about it, what you do is you parachute in like you do off the bus, and you go through 4 different rings,
Mhm.
like skydive them through them, and then you get a box. It's like people are creating content on YouTube for that, saying like how amazing this new update and how cool it is versus the other stuff they've released.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But really, you're just flying through rings and getting a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you get That's
Is it still the same map as well? It's still basically
still
the
the
same.
Oh
same
no,
map.
it changes a lot.
They add
the
stuff
map,
and
they
move things
get
around.
rid of like an area or change that area of the map.
And I think that's
Right.
really good, and that
Yeah.
and credit to them. That's another good feature of that game. Like
yeah,
I'm sure plenty with PUBG. I guess they released different maps entirely, but
Yeah.
I do like that element of Fortnite
it's an
where
evolving story.
the
isn't
story
it?
progresses, and I think
Yeah.
that's a really good achievement in a battle royale, which
Yeah.
largely don't really have much difference.
Again, it creates hype because it's like, what's that crack of
Yeah.
purple in the sky?
There's a story
suddenly
to it,
appeared.
Yeah.
And everyone's talking about it. All the kids talking about it because it drives their imagination wild as to what it could be, which is cool. I think
Yeah.
gets people talking about it.
Fuck,
I
man.
still hate watching Fortnite gameplay though.
No.
Ugh.
Remember we played it and it was just literally a battle defense,
A wave
a
defense,
defense
game.
game, and it just did shit on our channel. But
Well, it did shit overall.
yeah,
Like no one cares about that
and
game
then
mode.
boom,
hmm
battle royale.
And
shout
that just
PUBG.
goes to show the game mechanics of what people choose games on. Like
Yeah.
now, I
Mhm.
think that like, yes, it is nice to have nice shiny graphics, but ultimately, game mechanics is still king.
Yeah.
It's like the new Ninja Theory game, which is a 4v4 melee combat thing.
Right.
I feel like that contrived kind of gameplay where you're just brawling PvP,
hmm
and there's not much to it, and there's so many of them
Yeah.
that like Outbreak, what was they called? That game where we played, it's like an FPS
hmm
I
that
can't
just
remember.
totally flopped. It was done by the guys that did Doom.
Oh fuck,
Out-
What,
Outbreak?
Bethesda?
No, not Bethesda.
I can't remember now. But
Oh, I think I know what you mean.
Lawbreakers.
Lawbreakers,
Oh,
right? Yeah, that was.
yeah.
Just loads
That
of
tried
like,
to be almost like an Overwatch game, didn't it?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now Ninja Theory's got like a 4v4 version of that essentially, where
Yeah.
it's just like hack and slashy. And there's so many of them where they're trying to like create this cool, edgy kind of graffiti on the wall style dystopic future with these really radical character designs. It's just,
Mhm.
I don't know. Is it an oversaturation again?
It
of-
might be that they're just trying to
Potentially.
do what a lot of people did after WoW's success, and they've seen a format succeed and gone, right, we should just take a punt at this because if ours does succeed, we get rich.
the
Like,
amount of MMOs that came out around
Fucking
that
hell,
time
countless.
was insane.
like it really is crazy.
And now that's died off. So,
Yeah.
You know, we've been playing a lot of Mortal.
oh yeah,
I didn't realize until I had a look before this. Chivalry 2 is coming out.
yeah.
Huh.
They're making another one, which is great because
Another
I really
Chivalry.
love Chivalry. But then Mortal is really good fun as well. But it's a
Mhm.
bit buggy at times.
I think Mortal is a
But I'm interested
really
in that.
refined Chivalry one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And it's like the physical combat of it is
Good.
palpable.
it's just really satisfying.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we predominantly use the bow at the end
In
stages
horde
of the horde
mode,
mode. But,
yeah.
And you can cheese it as well. But
Yeah.
the AI is a bit dumb now.
it's still
again.
early access, right?
Yeah.
Technically.
But I still
think-
think it's the most fun that we've had together for a while.
Yeah.
Like I think that we were all enjoying it quite a lot, and the combat seems good. Like I
Yeah.
found with Chivalry sometimes I get frustrated because it felt a bit slow or disconnected.
Yeah.
But with this, I find it a lot easier to duel people. I'm really enjoying
Yeah.
Mortal. I'm,
That's really
I'm
good.
interested to see what Chivalry 2 brings.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
it's clearly got some competition there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So hopefully it's even bigger and better.
It's not an
Um,
oversaturated market, that kind of game.
Not
is it?
really, no.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
historical, tactical fighting games.
It's great for streaming as well because you
Mm.
can get a lot of people involved. It's really good.
It's
fun.
also silly,
yeah,
where
Yeah.
like it's excessive gore to the point of
yeah.
like fun.
Oh Jesus, his head and arm just came
But like
off.
it's also super satisfying, like hitting someone with
Mhm.
something because
Yeah.
there is a physical throwback
Squelch
and a
and-
squelch and
Yeah.
And getting the defense just right, so you defend
Yeah,
properly,
like-
Ting counter. You feel
Yeah.
like a boss, and that's an important feature of these games.
Yeah.
You know, once you want to feel empowered, don't you?
Yeah.
Like you want to feel like I'm killing, I'm doing this well.
yeah.
yeah. There's loads of games we've just jumped into which just aren't satisfying at all. Like what was it? We were playing the Walking Dead one, was it? Well, not Walking Dead.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
What was the?
What
Where
was
it's just
the-
like it's all right.
Yeah.
Like, the gunplay wasn't that satisfying.
Again,
No.
that's
Wasn't
another
that,
like,
like-
Left 4 Dead cloney.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
where it felt like the world was not super interesting.
They're very much banking on those Left 4 Dead players buying it and then just
On the
you know,
name
seeing how-
alone.
And then just leaving it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think that loads of companies do that. They just shit these things
Yeah.
out, hope that they make some money. It's like the whole thing about screenwriters. They write a production company will say like, right, we want you to write something for us like this, and then we'll allow you to write your own thing, and we'll help you produce it. Right? It's like the whole deal where I think game companies are along the same lines. It's like, right, let's put loads of thought and money into this game, and that'll be a big release. But
Yeah.
then also let's do one of these and see if that makes us any money. You
It's
know?
frustrating because obviously with all of these games, you have the passionate few that are in that company that really wanted to make this thing really
Yeah.
special,
Yeah.
and for whatever reason, people in suits or whatever made it come out too early, or
Mhm.
added all these stupid features, and
Mhm.
store features and cart features, or like contrived gameplay that they'd never wanted in it,
Yeah.
and it ruins the projects every time. It makes it a drab
I think it's a budget
carbon
thing half
copy.
the time,
Yeah.
because they can't all make the next GTA,
Yeah,
can they?
no.
So they've got to think reasonably. Like, okay, what market are we going to hit? Let's really hammer that hard. Let's get the
Yeah.
licenses for World War Z or whatever, and that's what we'll base it on. And
The
yeah,
thing is
And
that-
that's fine, but they don't communicate games like that. They don't go like
No.
this game is for this audience, or this game is for those people that we know are going to buy it on Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Like, they frame it as if everybody should be losing their mind over everything that's
Yeah.
happening. Like E3 with the crowds again, like, holy shit, this is nuts. It's like, well, it's not nuts. If you're a Fallout 76 player and you want a Battle Royale mode, you're probably very happy about it. But by and large, I don't think anyone was really bothered by
Yeah.
that. I was particularly disappointed with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, really?
So I was excited for that game because I am one of my favorite games of all time is Knights of the Old Republic. Like, sorry, not Knights of the Old Republic. I love that game as well.
That's BioShock.
Yeah,
BioWare, sorry.
Jedi Fallen. Fuck me, I've completely lost
What
it
did I
now.
play?
Academy. Jedi Academy.
No, the one before it with Kyle Katarn, right?
I can't remember the name.
But I remember
Jedi Knight 2
Phantom Menace, that was
Jedi
a great game.
Outcast is the name of it. Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast,
Right.
right? And in that, you played as a guy with a Jedi with a sword, but you could also pick up other shit, and you could do stuff like turn a mode on where like stormtroopers' heads would pop off, their arms
Yeah.
would come off when you swipe them with the sword.
Oh,
Like,
cool. It
was brutal, and like by and large, you're a Jedi with a lightsaber. Stormtroopers don't offer much resistance. You literally swipe one through, and they just be like, "Bah!"
yeah, which makes sense. Right?
Yeah, 'cause you're a fucking
You can't just
powerful
keep
dude.
hacking them away.
It should be like
Yeah.
Mordhau.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
wow.
amazing. But with Jedi Fallen Order,
Jedi would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
everybody thought the Jedi Fallen Order was going to be sort of a spiritual successor, or not thought, but hoped it would be a spiritual successor to like the Jedi Knight series.
Right.
Which again, I will stress was some of the so good. But it's not. It looks boring as hell. The animations look really dull and janky. The combat looks like a sort of diluted version somewhere between like a Fable style gameplay of slash and a like a Bloodborne style like roll out the way whilst this enemy does its planned attack. You know,
Also,
like
you can't cut off limbs on
Nope.
humans, only robots.
Yep. And it just looks like weak sauce. It just looks like a really mediocre, really sort of vanilla attempt at making a Jedi RPG.
Yeah.
And it's just another fucking lost chance.
It's
And
a shame.
I think it comes back to what
When's
you were
that out?
saying about budgeting and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that games companies publishers go, right, we want a Jedi title out in next year, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And then producers will go, okay, right, let's talk to game devs and, like you say, people who are passionate about these things. And they go like, right, what we want to do? Let's have like a full RPG progression system. Let's have fully realized and animated limb removal, all that sort of stuff. Then the producer goes, guys, we've only got a year and a half to make this. We can't do the fully realized
Also,
RPG
we need
system.
to condense this into a teen rating.
Yeah. So
for
we
a
can't
maximum
do
audience.
that. And then by the end of that process, you just get these fucking watered down,
Yeah.
like, mass marketed
Yeah.
sort of like. I think this is
We know
suitable
this
for most
works,
people,
yeah.
but this isn't generally going to inspire
Yeah.
much like loyalty. And it's so sad because you get these awesome IPs, and historically some games come out and you're like, these people nailed it. This is like the mechanics are great, the story is great, the graphics are great. And it just frustrates me when, this sort of industry lens just fucks things.
Well, that's the good thing about indie stuff,
Yeah.
or like early access
Like
stuff. Like
Mordhau.
half the time, that stuff can be really fucking good.
You don't see Mordhau at
It stands
E3.
out.
Yeah.
No,
But
yeah.
the downside then is they don't have the budget or
to make it even better. So
Yeah.
it's stuck at like a specific stage. But I don't know. I've been more
There's a
excited about
charm
indie
to that
stuff.
sort of thing, though, where it's
Yeah.
just like the creator's intent is as good as it could have been, and with the budget they had.
There's
And
better community management as well.
It's kind of like when you work with the limitations of the console, like back in the days of SNES, the creative workarounds to get things looking the way they did, or to like get a certain piece of music out of like the limited channels that they had on
Yeah.
the sound driver that they used, was really creative. And I feel like, that's kind of lost a little bit because they got an engine which already works, like an Unreal Engine or whatever. They don't need to tweak it that much.
You have to work
They can
hard
just-
to get stylized.
Yeah.
'Cause you have everything.
You have a
to
lot
your-
of
at your
scope to
disposal,
work
really,
with. Yeah. And I feel like limitation fuels creativity sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. No, you're right. And I think that indie games have become more prevalent because of the gameplay focus, of that mechanical focus, because ultimately people do keep coming back for game mechanics, not necessarily visuals. Like, you're more likely, I think, to come back for a game with good mechanics than you are for good visuals. If a game is crap but looks beautiful, you're like, yeah, it's really nice, but like, I wish I had something to do in this game.
Like,
Sea of Thieves, when it first launched,
yeah,
for example. Sea of Thieves now is much better. I really enjoy that game, and it's one of the most beautiful sandbox games I know. Like, I love looking at that game.
The thing, we jumped on that the first time, and we were just like, okay, well, we've done this bit. What's next? And it's just a bit
empty.
Empty. It's weird, yeah. And they put a lot of time and energy advertising that game. And it's just like, oh.
But I think once in a while, it used to be the way that these big companies would release these fantastic games.
Pressure it to go out early.
But now, I think there's like, imagine a bar of money, right? So it's like, right, we got £1 million to make this game. Okay, it used to be like, right, mostly developing costs, graphics artist costs, coders costs, right? And then we've got, at the end of it, right, we've got a bit of a marketing budget. Like, let's talk to some influencers. Let's put a bit of press out about this. Now it's like, right, we're going to market the shit out of your next game. Guys, make it good. So it's like 50% of the money is marketing.
Oh, yeah.
And 50% is for everyone else.
Applies to films in a big way.
Yeah.
Like,
more than likely, they
shit that
budgeted in, like, we need to release it now so that we get more budget to add more content to the game and keep more people coming in.
Exactly. And it's a really, I think, bad way to make games. Great way to make money.
Is it also our perspective to flip things on its head? Because obviously we're older, have been in the gaming industry for a long time. We've been saturated with tons of games that are easily accessible by us three. We can have whatever game we want or ask for a code or whatever. Do you think there's a level of influence, kind of like a journalist does, that sees games every day and has to review them?
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you think that we're coming from a biased perspective where it's like, oh, I've seen this before, move on,
we're
whereas
spoiled
someone
by
else would be
everything,
excited if they had World War Z because they've only played 3 other games in their life.
Yep.
Well, that's it. You've got to make a choice. If I've got 60 quid to spend on a game, which game am I going to spend it on? But it's a hard thing to do now. There's so much available. Talking of that, are you interested in Modern Warfare, the new one?
Yes.
It's back
for nostalgia
back to Call of
purposes.
Duty Modern Warfare.
I know.
On its own.
A reset.
The first Modern Warfare is fantastic. Like, I love
Modern
that
Warfare
game.
4.
Yeah.
You mean?
Yeah. Sorry. The first one where they had like soap
and
the fucking AC-130 gunship and all that stuff. Like, the single player of that game was so good. All gillied up, the one where you're like creeping through. So good. And I hope that we just get that again, like with updated graphics. Like, that's all I want. A cool storyline with some cool set pieces.
Is it a remake? Is it just like because obviously there's some characters that are coming back.
I think it's a continuation of their story.
Yeah.
I think it's a continuation of their story. So it's like, what else did Captain Price or Soap do at that time or around that time?
Seems like they've put a lot of effort into revamping the engine as well.
Yeah. Looks totally different.
Yeah. I've not been that excited about Call of Duty games in a while. That one looks really good.
I haven't since probably Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2 was amazing. And Black Ops 3 wasn't too bad, but it got... When everyone started hopping around, it just started being shit. It's like, that's not...
I haven't been interested in them since uni.
Also, they haven't changed their look, I don't think. No. Like, I will look at a game and go, that's a Call of Duty game. Like, for me, one of the biggest problems with modern Call of Duty games is their gun sounds and animations. Yeah. They sound shit. Like,
and the tiny boxes you're stuck in.
Yeah.
And that's what Battlefield does really well, but now that's gone to a more Call of Duty-esque level. Yeah.
That's why I play Squad now.
It still looks and is amazing to play.
Very well presented.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like,
contrived, diluted gameplay.
It once was, but
like carbon copy of the same one before with a different setting.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to them. But there's
that's why EA bought DICE, and I think that's what happens. Unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should we move on to other bits? We have we have a bit about Dr. Disrespect.
Talking of E3,
disrespecting the law.
Nice.
Bit
of controversy.
Basically, he got banned off Twitch because he did a live stream and he went into a toilet.
Right. His E3 badge got revoked as well.
Which is...
Did it? He got kicked out of the event.
Which is kind of an odd decision to make, right?
I used to... Yeah. Well, Dr. Disrespect I always admired for what he did with Twitch, right? Like, he created a character and he put a lot of effort into being that character and doing all the graphics.
Presenting it,
and, like, living it, which is great. The other controversy about him having an affair, that was shit. It's crap, so I kind of lost interest in him. And then he's
because of the affair, or because it was public in the first place. Why did it need to be?
The whole way it was handled,
right? Okay.
And also the fact that it happened in the first place was stupid.
Yeah,
it's like an influencer with all this stuff going to their head, classic, and making a mistake. Fair enough. Anyway, he's back and he's doing good stuff. He's successful.
Well, you can see it if you're watching it. You can see he's in the toilet there.
First ever live IRL stream he does is walking the show floor, and for some reason he keeps going back into a public toilet. And doing skits and jokes in there with people urinating.
I haven't actually seen the clip yet.
It's all banned, so
Or is that not it there?
No, that's a still.
Well, surely if we played it, we'd be doing what he did.
Yeah.
Right,
So we can't really.
so-
Well, it's censored.
Well,
So from what I gather, he was going into a public toilet at E3 and streaming.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Well, he's not going in there and jacking off, is he?
No.
I don't think he was trying to catch anyone out.
No.
Right? He just went to a private place. But yeah,
it's
a stupid thing to do.
Yeah, it's just reckless, abandon, not really thinking
To be
about
fair, Terps goes in our toilet quite a lot, but obviously there's no... I mean, there must be... Are there laws here?
I think he
guess there would be.
presumes that we'd be consenting, which we probably would be.
But half
like,
the time I think he checks before.
Yeah, and
It's not a case of
can't
like, I'll
expect the
randomly
public
go
to
over the top.
consent.
No.
Like,
And
Exactly,
you should.
yeah.
he knows us. He can probably judge our character. He'll probably
Yeah.
say, like, for example, I wouldn't mind if he went and streamed like a picture of my wiener.
So this is
sure.
an invite.
But if I was stood at the urinal
Terps,
and he came in
if
and
you're
talked to
listening.
me, I think he knows that I probably wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But when you go into a public situation like that, you do need to take into account. these
Well, there were
people.
kids apparently just having a piss at the back there. It's like, jeez.
Yeah.
Read the room.
And he didn't do it once. He did it multiple times. Like
no.
going into that toilet, it's like maybe I shouldn't go in there again. He just,
But it's a classic disconnect, isn't it? It's a classic, like, when you are that big and when you are moving around, like, he's probably treated like a god at E3, or at least was, like, by games publishers, because he is literally one of their marketing budgets just solved. You know, like, right, if we can get this guy to play our game, we're going to go put it in front of loads of people.
Yeah.
So you get, like, we're tiny in comparison, and we get treated great wherever we go. And you do feel a bit like, yeah, I can do whatever the hell
above
I want.
the law.
Yeah, it's like, print journalists, like, what are they doing here? What's the point? Like, you know, we've got more circulation than them, like that sort of stuff. And then, yeah, you just get to this point where you're like, E3's my playground. I'm sure that's what he thought. And he's just like, right, I'm not trying to excuse him. I'm just trying to enlighten you into the state of mind that he might have.
Yeah.
Where he just
Which isn't
doesn't
necessarily
think about
right.
It's probably
yeah.
easy to
No.
get carried away when you're live streaming.
Yeah.
Just wandering around somewhere.
And you got chat
there's-
going crazy.
And you're just trying to
saying-
you're riling up your chat. You're trying to, so.
Influence. Yeah, they influence him.
But that
It's
shit
like
happens
here-
all the time, right? In real life Twitch. Like, weird shit happens all the
It's
time.
a
Just people
risky
out
thing
and
to-
about. Like,
yeah.
you know.
To be out in public is to add a whole other level of risk. You're not in
Yeah.
a controlled environment with other people that you know are going to react in a certain way.
Mm.
You got these other people that could just come up to you and punch you in the face
Yeah. Or
'cause
steal
they
your
know-
camera or
Yeah.
abduct you in a car and things like that. All these sort of
Yeah.
things.
because
have
they know they're
happened.
live to like 30,000 people plus. This was like 67,000 people.
Yeah.
And it
I don't
gives,
know how long
it
he's
gives
banned
you
for.
that sort of feeling of invincibility almost, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Where when you know all these people
Yeah.
are watching, you're like, because there was a streamer that got into a car and thought they were being abducted, and so they had to like escape, and they were like streaming this.
It wasn't planned or anything. It was just.
wasn't planned. Like
wasn't like
genuinely, this person
staged.
thought that they were being abducted, and I'm not even sure if it wasn't. I think it might have actually been happening, and they
Right.
managed to like get out of the
Jesus.
car and leave. But like, you know, I'm sure they think at the time it's a bit like where a cameraman is filming something in a documentary that's going
Yeah.
a bit awry, like that Ross Kemp thing where the guy tried to mug them. And Ross Kemp's like, "You're not shooting me, mate." And you're like, "Fucking hell, Ross Kemp, you are pretty hard."
But probably the fact the camera's on him.
Yeah, the
is
camera-
bolstering that kind of like. Well, actually, no, you're never going to touch me because there's a camera guy filming this.
Exactly. But and with streamers, it's like, well, there's 60,000 people watching this. You kidding, mate? Like,
Yeah.
but in reality, they're not there.
Yeah.
They're not there.
Of course not, yeah.
They can't do
and
anything.
not everybody knows who you are. Not everybody cares who you are.
Sure, you have this
And-
level of protection of like, oh, I don't want to get caught. My face is on public.
Yeah.
Information.
Yeah.
But
in public
a lot of
places,
people don't
that's
understand
allowed, right?
streaming anyway.
Yeah.
It's just like you got your mobile phone out.
Yeah.
It's like they don't get that there's people
He's streaming to
watching.
your little friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you on Skype?
You want to? Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff
Yeah.
like
Whatever, mom.
that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's funny.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how long he's been banned
Banned
for. It's probably a temp ban. I don't know, but
Somebody.
it's a
One last
whole
comment
situation.
on this before we move on.
Yeah.
I saw somebody on Twitter say this. Is it like it's a temporary ban?
Yeah.
And ultimately, all this means is when he comes back, he's just going to have a shit ton of subs and like
Yeah.
tips and stuff come through because
Yeah.
they're like, so glad you're back. So in a way,
course, yeah.
this just makes him more infamous.
Well,
the
it's like
same
it's
thing.
like the same thing that happened when he
He had
cheated
an
on his
affair.
wife.
Yeah. Like none of these
Some
things truly
notoriety.
harm them. There's no real way to harm somebody when they're that popular. The only way to do it is for their own audience to turn against them. I think there's very little
Well,
a
if they're allowed
platform
back on
can
the
do.
same platform, yes.
Yeah.
If they're deplatformed, it's a different story, right?
But then, you know, he could just do a PewDiePie and start his own like
yeah, but that does, like barely any. Like,
Bitcoin viewership thing.
sure.
But he could.
Yeah,
and these
yeah.
platforms know that. These platforms know that he could leave.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if they really want to stand up for their own morals, and they don't really care. Like codes of conduct are just there to protect them legally.
Yeah.
Like these people, they're like, right, well, we'll temp ban him. And hopefully he won't do something bad again because holy shit, this guy's making us
Let the
hundreds of
dust
thousands
settle.
of dollars a month.
Yeah.
People
Like,
forget
it's a
about
conflict.
it. Yeah.
Because it's the same thing when
money.
Twitch streamers were like kind of wanting changes done in Fortnite, I think, when they were protesting. It's like, is that a power we want like a handful of streamers to have over games that other people might enjoy. So, like millions of people might have really loved a feature, and they're just like, "Oh, fuck this feature," and then they have to change it out of pressure of these kind of asshole streamers who just want to get their own way.
Yeah.
Like, is that a good thing? Should we be encouraging that, or should we?
People should have a
hope
voice.
that developers should at least kind of stick up for themselves and stand by their decision to make.
They should take a consensus, like of their entire user base. Yeah, absolutely. Not just the Twitch.
Again, that encourages brigading, doesn't it? Because all the fans of that one person's going to then rally on the developer to change something that sounds like a million voices, when in reality it's just a load of
there's
just
like
people.
tantrum. From
there's a really
don't really care about it.
Interesting theory. Well, not theory. It's like it is a theory, I suppose. About opinion leaders. So there's a guy called Marshall McLuhan, who was like a guy that I studied at uni, who was all about like communications and like opinion leaders. Like, it is a working theory in that like we get opinion leaders, right? Celebrities now are opinion leaders. Like world leaders can be opinion leaders. Musicians, artists. People. And so like these people have such huge power because like they're an opinion leader because for some reason people decided to follow them, and like, you know, it raises them up and it gives them a very loud voice. And ultimately there's not very much you can do against that person until they lose the support of this massive group of people that will just agree with them. Like,
and often all you, like for example with an election or something like that, all you need to do is to get them to do that one thing, and after that it doesn't matter as long as you get them to do that vote.
You're in for 4 years.
You just have to encourage them enough to change their mind or enhance their opinions on something to get that vote, and after that they're in office.
It's like us with our the Conservative leadership.
But also essentially it's the rise of, like we mentioned before, like anti-vaxxing. Like, that's an opinion leader said, we shouldn't do this, and celebrities are
influential people,
leading that thought, and it's just like,
and it legitimizes it.
And it's just like, that's a dangerous thing to kind of offer to the world.
So be careful, Dr. Disrespect.
Well, I mean, we are leading flat Earth proponents, obviously, here at Hat Films.
Yes, of course.
We've got a song about it.
We do have a song. I hope that becomes the anthem at some point, where they all play it at some point and don't realise it's got a jokey tone to it. There's a couple of things. I mean, there was another thing I wanted to mention, was the fact that we've all watched the Chernobyl series. Chernobyl. Apparently, it's influenced. It's encouraged influencers on Instagram to go over there and just take kind of pictures in front of it. Well, there was a picture. I don't think it's on this article, but of a woman who's like half naked, like literally her ass is out, and she's in front of the fucking like towers. It's like, what?
It's a tragedy.
Doing? This is like ridiculous.
I fucking hate people.
I can't believe that would encourage.
It's kind of like
to
doing that in front of the 9/11 ruins.
Oh, you vapid, money-hungry fuck!
And
I
just
hope
like,
you're
hey,
happy.
look, I'm part of the series. It's like, no, you.
I get it if they're like on a
go
tour.
see it. Yeah.
Sure.
But like, just going there for fucking Instagram photos, it's just like.
That's okay.
It's got to be a good thing for the people around Chernobyl, right? In terms of like tourism,
I guess,
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just a horrible culture to promote, isn't it?
Like, great series though, but like
these seem like regular photos that you take if you were there.
If you were there to visit,
that's fine. It's the other one.
There's more on Instagram, which are like
sexy,
kind of scantily clad women, just like, hey, check me out, and I'm, you know, is it even safe to be there now? I mean, obviously, there's certain parts are okay, right?
Well, you take a Geiger counter around with you. And like, absolutely. If you touch or disturb things, like some things have sitting residue. So like bodies of water, or like there's certain areas that are just really irradiated still.
Because I've seen some urban explorer videos on YouTube, which are really interesting. I find that interesting. That these massive places can just get abandoned.
The guy that met like the old lady and her son, and they like shared vodka and stuff. Brilliant, really cool.
No, I saw there was an old dude who was outside of Chernobyl.
There it is.
And he met this really old dude who lived in a shack in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere, and it's this dirty little shack with no electricity, nothing. It was just horrible. Oh, there you go. There's one of them.
It's the sun.
It's the sun, and it's showing
no respect. I love it that the sun is the person to say that.
The voice of reason is the sun.
We've had a naked woman on page 3 for fucking years, but now this is disgusting.
Just a massively hypocritical.
But it is. It is fucking disgusting, really. Like.
But then again, if you're talking about freedom of speech and shit in the last episode.
Oh, I mean, they're free to do it. It's just a kind of an odd thing to do.
Doesn't mean we have to like it.
Yeah.
It's kind of dangerous to themselves, but also just kind of making it look sexy. This is a sexy place to be.
Sexy, isn't it?
Radiation
is sexy.
Radiation really gets me fucking going.
Yeah, absolutely, Trott. You're right. They're free to do this. However, you fucking money-hungry fuck.
I guess it's also like when people are like stood on like the top of a skyscraper and one of his beams just over the edge.
It is
just
money.
Attention.
Yeah, but that's money.
Of course it is. Attention is
like,
money.
Like, why do they want to get attention? Because they want to be popular, because they want to be successful, because they want to be rich.
Yeah,
they
we
want
said
money.
this before on Instagram. Like, attention
weird,
is money.
It is weird.
That is a weird one. We don't have too much time, but I chose a few funny news stories.
Right, just hit us with some highlights of the week.
Okay, there's a woman stuck in child's plaything.
Okay. Frank from Always Sunny.
In a way.
Oh,
is this
it's
Dobby?
the classic
another
toy
one?
car.
Okay, yeah. So there's a
Yellow
clip
roof.
of a woman. So basically, so you know that little. It's kind
Fisher
of a
is the brand, isn't it?
Yeah, Fisher Price, I think. It's a little red and yellow car. And a woman has climbed inside this little pedal car.
Yeah.
And she's completely stuck, and she is just.
It's encapsulated her body.
Yeah. So if you watch this video, it's pretty funny.
She needs those bars above and below, and then say like Chernobyl.
Yeah, she's having a great
This is the
time.
effects of Chernobyl.
I think they had to cut her out of that thing with a bread knife, but it's pretty funny, right?
Bread knife. Fair.
Bread knife.
Saw on through, I suppose.
There's another clip,
pretty funny.
not to do with this one, where it looks like Dobby is.
I've seen
Have
this.
you seen this clip go around online?
Yeah.
Which looks like it's potentially CGI or something.
I think it's a puppet. Most people
It looks like a puppet because the way it walked, it looked like
Exactly.
it was somebody who was on the
It's a
roof, maybe just using a
CCTV
puppet. Again,
driveway of this weird creature running away, basically. That looks like the back of Dobby.
it looks like Dobby, the little house elf.
It
just
is a
running
little
around.
strange.
And it is kind of creepy.
Look at this
It's
thing.
well done if it is staged completely, but look at him just doing the chicken arms and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
that's
fucking
absolutely a
stupid.
puppet.
Yeah. The way it hangs,
Yeah.
Also, the guy could be on the roof. The video cuts before the puppet leaves too far from the roof.
Yeah.
So
I'll
like,
point. Okay.
And you can just take a still
I'll
plate
point
of
out
that.
this is from the
and
Daily
then
Star
paint out the
as well.
Oh, what?
So it's not exactly something to
Yeah.
believe, but they also claim that experts think it's real. So whatever. Fucking
experts.
experts.
Sold
Anyone's
by
can be an
experts
expert.
Who says
Um,
it's real? Yeah, it's a real puppet.
And the other one was the poo jogger loses job.
No.
So a man has been caught out. Apparently, he has been regularly pooping. In
Serial pooing
Sorry, let me
public.
just read that. Man quits his job after being outed as Australia's notorious poo jogger. Now there is a nice little image there if you watch it of him doing a poop. A man accused of serially pooping in public
On a
has quit his
footpath.
job after a photographer
On a
caught him
footpath.
relieving himself on the
Do you reckon
suburban
it's a sexual
Brisbane
thing?
street. I don't know. I think it's more of like an exciting danger thing.
Sexual.
Yeah.
Like it
always-
doesn't necessarily be sexual.
It's always sexual.
It doesn't always have to
Pooing
be.
is
He might
sexual.
just think, "Fuck, I've been getting away with pooing in public for a long time." Unless he has an issue where he has to poo after like halfway through a jog. He's like, "God, fucking every time," and so he then just relieves himself.
Just take some dog poo bags.
Or
Is it the same
pick a
place every
jogging
time?
route near a toilet.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. You
Or
would
just
certainly
shit in
change
the
routes.
bush.
He likes doing that.
So Macintosh was photographed holding toilet paper outside the Logan Road block on May 11th and has been charged with 1 count of public nuisance. He took his own toilet paper?
Yeah,
Is
he's
that what
willing
I'm
to
getting
wipe
from
his own
that?
arse, but
Yeah,
not
yeah,
clean
he's-
up the streets.
But is he ditching that toilet paper on top of the shit?
That's a good point.
Or is he like taking that with
Pocketing
him?
it, sniffing it.
How
later.
environmentally friendly is he being with this toilet roll? I don't know.
When I was a 9-year-old kid, I went skateboarding
Go on.
Yeah.
around the estate behind my house. I had a friend with me
Sure.
who really needed a toilet. I said, just piss in that drain, mate. It's only piss. So
Oh,
he
okay.
pisses into the drain on
Yeah.
the side of the road. Person, it is in the middle of the day. Person comes out, they're like, what are you doing? That's disgusting. I'm like, is it? It's pissing in a drain.
I guess if you can see his dick. it's a
Well, yeah,
bit
but this kid's like
disgusting.
9. Like, it's a
Well,
child.
It's even worse. You
A
then
drain.
just you open your curtains and suddenly you can see a child's dick and he's pissing into a drain. You would suddenly be like, "Well, this isn't okay."
Why not?
Why it's in public?
Yeah, but like that's like 4-year-old girls running
But
around
if
naked
you,
at
but
the,
if you
the
did
beach.
that, but if you did that now,
Yeah, I'm an adult. I should know better.
well, of course you should know better. But this guy's
But also, like,
definitely
64.
should
Middle
know
of the
better. He's
night.
64 years old.
middle of the night, if you're going to piss anywhere, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so walking through Bristol.
Find a bush though.
Yeah, but there wasn't any
It's a bit more
bushes.
discreet.
It's like suburbia. There's no, like,
Right,
people's
okay.
lawns and stuff like that. This is a drain. You piss into it,
Bus
the
stop?
drain takes it away.
They love the bus
And
stop.
people have to sit there. I think pissing in drains
but
is a
loads
really
of
great
people piss at the
viable
bus stop,
option.
don't they?
Mm.
You get
Yeah.
that waft.
On
Next
the
to the
seat.
one stop.
Not the ones that with the clear glass.
Yeah.
The ones like the brick ones.
Oh, the brown one.
Oh, those
Oh.
ones. That
There's one down my
really
road
lingers.
when I was a kid, and it just always stank. Of
Well,
just
people just do it in
piss.
like the underground tunnels and things like that. Like
yeah.
the walkthroughs. They just
Yeah.
piss
Where would
in
you
there.
piss? There's no.
A drain.
A
Drain is fine. I mean, as
It
long as
makes
you're like
sense, right?
concealed in some
The
way.
outrage was a bit much, I think.
I think so.
Well, what did they do about it?
They went, stop it, get out of here, you're disgusting. And I was just like,
You can't stop mid-flow
it's just
for
a
one.
drain.
I got
Well,
told off
stop
for
it,
saying the
though.
word bugger in a similar way, and all I said was bugger. I was a child.
Bugger.
I
I
was
said
called-
Jesus Christ once in response to a roller coaster I saw,
Yeah.
and somebody was like, "Oh, you shouldn't say that." And I'm like, Jesus Christ, fuck off!
Fuck you.
And that's how he ended up.
He's not real.
So anyway, the poo jogger, he quit his job.
Amazing.
For good reason. I don't know if this one's as important. But,
Craig, any comments on the poo jogger? Would you poo on the side of the road?
Craig is here
would
with
I
us.
or have I?
Both.
No comment.
Okay.
No comment.
Craig's here.
Why did you ask me whether I wanted you to expand upon your answer if you were going to answer no comment, Craig? You're wasting my time here.
I am, yeah. You're right.
And the final story would be very quick on that one. It's cops fired after blaming missing half-ton of weed on stoner mice, which they stored it. But they basically stored 13,000 pounds of weed.
13 what?
Thousand pounds in weight of weed.
That's a huge amount of weed, ladies and gentlemen. That is.
And then
lot.
when on a police inspection, it revealed that 1,000 pounds of it went missing, and so they blamed mice. However, I think there was some dodgy stuff going on. So
was it?
Yeah, it's easy to blame the mice,
isn't it?
Easy to blame the
mice. A lot of animals do like eating weed.
Photos.
Well, yeah, yeah, sure.
Like weed, like being eaten by things, is actually a common thing. For
I
farms.
don't doubt it.
What the hell?
Sorry, yeah, this image is just
Thank
a
you.
big chunky bud, and then there's just loads of fucking little mice running past.
Anyway, we got to wrap up today.
Yeah, so quick updates. So there won't be a podcast next week because we are recording shitloads of stuff. We're also away in the first half of the week, so we can't do next week's. The week after, we have an exciting thing that isn't 100% confirmed, but I'm very excited about it. We might be going to the Austrian F1 Grand Prix as part of a thing which we'll film. But again, annoyingly, that's on a Thursday, so we may not be able to fit them in. If we can fit them in, we'll try to. But I'm saying that now just to get us
pre-warning.
And yeah, and also one thing I was tempted to bring back was a Hat Daddies segment, like just like one question or two or something.
Okay, we'll
in
start
future.
thinking about it.
So bring those into hatchat@hat-films.com.
If you don't know what that is, it's like an agony aunt/uncle scenario where you have a problem, we'll try and solve it.
Yeah, we did it a while back on its own, and I think it just works as a little segment where we can just do one or two questions rather than shitloads.
In orc masks, right?
Not in orc masks this time.
And also, this podcast is very kindly supported and made possible by our wonderful patrons.
It is, yeah.
Patreon.com/hatfilms.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to pluck a random Patreon supporter and just say thanks to them.
It's in the middle there, Ross.
There it is. Cheers, buddy.
Icon.
I'm just going to randomly this one. Thank you, Joseph Allison.
Wow.
Thank you. There's loads of names in there, but I've just pinpointed.
There's over 200 of you.
Who's going to be next week? We'll find out. Do we want one question from the audience here? Do you want to cherry pick one? Trot, you chose these. I don't know what.
Can you dream having a dream by Latchy?
Like an Inception type thing.
Dream. Oh, I've done that.
I think you can.
I've woken up and still been in a dream.
Yeah.
Which is kind of annoying when that happens because it's kind of very disorienting. Where you wake up and you feel like you're already in bed, and you're like, "Fuck, what?" And you wake up again,
and you're like, "Oh, for fuck's sake,
this is weird."
Yeah.
So I have had that.
Snow Hazard was like, what's the most exciting thing for E3?
Final Fantasy VII for me.
Yeah, I'd
personally,
say the same.
I wasn't much excited about too much else. Really,
I think probably Cyberpunk still.
Yeah,
like Cyberpunk looks pretty fun.
I said in March, so not too long to wait. Hopefully,
yeah.
2020.
Someone said Jake said if Carl has a head like a fucking orange, referring to Ricky Gervais podcasts, what is Craig's head like?
Oh, it's
peanut.
It's like an aubergine. It's really long and purple.
Huh?
I can't see it. You'll have to describe
little peanut head.
Peanut head.
Walnut
eggplant
head.
Eggplant head.
Eggplant emoji head.
Zucchini head.
Allergic to zucchini, apparently.
These are all American terms.
Definitely allergic.
Yeah, we took those with a pinch of salt. Although Trot, this was an allergy test we did earlier in the week.
I'm seeing the doctors on Tuesday.
Are you really?
To get some real evidence.
Finally getting your balls removed.
Because you had so much.
It was too much.
It just doesn't make sense if you're...
No, I'd be dead by now.
Yeah,
well, you basically are.
What?
Have you seen you?
I've been drinking milk loads as well. I'm apparently like 80% intolerant. So.
Oh, shit. You're on your way out,
I'm still here, so fuck it.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, look forward to our next Hat Chat whenever that's going to be.
Yes.
I hope you're enjoying them so far. If you're subscribed, listening to this right now, we appreciate that.
And a massive thanks to our supporters as well on Patreon and people watching on Twitch and subbing on Twitch. And
if you want to watch some of the video segments or watch this entire podcast in video form, we have the Hat Chat podcast YouTube channel. So have a look at that, and that will be able to show you the videos we've been looking at and things like that as well.
The references,
sub up,
to articles.
All right,
sweet. Thanks, Craig.
Well, thank you for joining us, everybody.
And we've just gone blank anyway, so that's sweet.
Has it crashed?
It looks like something's crashed.
If you can still hear us,
They can hear you still.
we'll wrap it up. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.